Okay, so as I said, after presenting the showcase virtually the past 2 years, I've decided to change it up a bit. In previous years, we showcased the kids who competed in the, can you guys see me okay? This is where the podium is, I can't really move it. In the previous years, we showcased the kids who competed in the 4-H fashion review contest at the fair, which is where they sew something, model it, and are interviewed by judges. That's their whole contest. So all the sewing projects were garments in the show. Well, since Expo wasn't the only thing that went virtual the past couple of years, everything we did, including 4-H, went virtual. Since kids couldn't meet in person with the 4-H leaders, we got creative via Zoom. You cannot teach garment sewing via Zoom to kids. So this led to a whole other side of sewing, the non-garment side. Projects like accessories, home decor, crafts, quilts, and more. And just like us, some kids prefer that type of sewing over garment sewing. There are also many more options for beginners in the non-garment sewing world of easy projects that show instant results. So today you will see our 4-H fashion review kids showing their garments first, but you will also see some first-year sewists showing their non-garment creations. Sewing is definitely not a dying art. There are so many kids who want to learn to sew, and with guidance from experienced sewists, these kids can create anything. So first, we will show you what I call classic garment sewing. We have 4 kids in this category. Don't look now. Amara Case is back on stage wearing her hot new outfit that she coordinated by herself. You won't find these pants in any store. These cool, comfortable, fashionable pants featuring an astrological print are Amara original, and so is Amara. Her trendy knit crop top is her favorite color of blue and features a mock turtleneck and peekaboo front that dresses up the top. Amara has a love for all things fun and fashionable, and that surely describes this outfit. She will definitely have fun wearing this outfit when she goes out with her friends. 14-year-old Amara has been sewing with the Asking for Trouble 4-H Club for 6 years now. Amara designed this outfit to reflect her style and carefully chose accessories to complete her look. She hopes you enjoy the look she created as much as she does. We now welcome 13-year-old Kiana Ross to the runway. Kiana has been sewing with the 12 Bobbins 4-H Club for a little over 4 years. Kiana lucked out with this sewing project and saved a lot of money as the corduroy fabric for her skirt was donated to 4-H. Kiana is really proud of how nice her skirt turned out. She found inserting the elastic through the casing was the most difficult part, but it turned out neat. Kiana made her skirt the perfect length as she has been growing out of her clothes quickly. Making the skirt a little longer means she'll be able to wear it for a couple years. She hopes. I'm sure her parents hope so too. Besides sewing, Kiana enjoys dancing, baking, and playing the clarinet. She has enjoyed wearing her skirt to school this year and looks forward to sewing more garments. Good job, Kiana. Here is 13-year-old Rebecca Albright, a 5-year member of the Graham Crackers 4-H Club, modeling her flower print knit top and denim skirt. She is extremely excited to wear this casual country-style outfit to folk dances with her cousins. Rebecca chose 100% cotton denim fabric for the skirt because it will match a lot of tops that she already has in her closet. Rebecca fell in love with the 90% polyester, 10% spandex knit fabric for her top because it was very soft and comfortable to wear. Pinning fabric has not been a favorite thing of Rebecca's. In fact, she downright dislikes it. However, the super stretchy shirt fabric required her to use many pins, and she now enjoys how useful they are. The most difficult part for Rebecca was attaching the neckband as the fabric was very slippery. Her favorite part was sewing all the buttons on the skirt, even though she had to do them twice due to measuring error. Rebecca learned what a raglan sleeve is, and that when dealing with layers of thick fabric, a Microtech chrome needle is very helpful. This project cost about $58 to make, and Rebecca estimated it would cost around $70 to purchase ready-made. So in the end, she saved about $12. She learned a lot of new skills and really enjoyed this outfit. In fact, I think she's making another one right now. Good job. Ruth Blaylock found the perfect pattern for her cotton day dress. Her creation is perfect for wearing to church or to special summer occasions. Ruth chose this new look pattern because she wanted to further her sewing skills, and she wanted a flattering dress style. Her favorite part was sewing the invisible pockets. After all, pockets are essential to any dress. She says the hardest part was getting the zipper right where it needed to be, and it turned out great. Ruth has been sewing for 8 years as a member of the Blaylock Family Farm 4-H Club. Besides sewing, 14-year-old Ruth knits, crochets, shows sheep and chickens, sketches, and paints. Great job, Ruth. We look forward to seeing you. Girls aren't the only ones who like to sew. In fact, over the years, and some of you have seen the show over the years, you know that boys really know how to sew. In fact, sometimes I think the boys can sew better than the girls. So, we have 2 boys in the show this year. And first up, Matthew. We now welcome 12-year-old Matthew Albright. Matthew has been sewing for 3 years with the Graham Crackers 4-H Club. Today, Matthew is modeling his navy blue fleece jacket. This is the 4th fleece project Matthew has sewn, and the most difficult one. Matthew learned to sew a separated zipper, side seam pockets, and a collar band with this project. Matthew has been told that working with fleece is easy, but after 4 projects, he's still not convinced. He learned that fleece dulls needles quickly. Switching to a chrome needle helped a lot. For his next sewing project, Matthew is planning a plaid dress shirt. Currently, he has learned about fitting and sewing muslins, as this is his first time using woven fabric for a garment. In fact, as I work with him, he has cut out his plaid shirt, so it's pretty awesome. Sewing is his only project. He also participates in rabbits, sheep, pocket pets, and STEM projects in 4-H. Great job, Matthew. Next year, you'll see his project. Our second young man is Simeon Levitt from Country Partners 4-H Club. He is ready to relax with a bowl of popcorn and a movie in this comfortable outfit. Filmmaking, flying airplanes, Bible quizzing, and juggling are just a few of the other things Simeon does when not working on 4-H projects. Simeon's made this pants pattern before, but now that he's grown, he wanted to make it again in a larger size and with a shirt to match. Even with a larger size, he chose to add length to allow for more growing room. He also decided to add a second back pocket, change the waistband style, and double stitch everything to make it sturdier and look more professional. Working with knits can be hard, but this 4th-year sewing veteran is always up for a challenge. 14-year-old Simeon learned that using a stretch needle and polyester thread make it easier to work with the stretch of the fabric. Although it was challenging, adding the contrast side panels really make this outfit pop. This outrageous color combination is sure to catch everyone's eyes. Awesome job. Another popular fashion category is vintage. While most of us consider the 40s and 50s vintage, today's kids consider the 80s and 90s. Yeah. And we did have one in the 40s category, but she's the one that called out sick. However, we do have one who is inspired by the 90s. Doesn't 17-year-old Lydia Blaylock look elegant in her purple dress accented with a gold chain belt? Lydia modified this 1990s pattern to create the look she wanted. And that look revolved around her necklace. Lydia wanted to wear her gold or purple necklace, but never had the right outfit for it. So what does the sewist do? Well, make a new outfit, of course. The cotton floral fabric has small gold dots to tie in the look, and the gold chain belt was made to match the chain of the necklace. Lydia says the hardest part was sewing the gathered sleeves without creating puckers. She really enjoys sewing this dress, and she feels like a more confident seamstress now. Lydia has been sewing for 8 years with the Blaylock Family Farm 4-H Club. When not sewing, Lydia enjoys knitting, cross-stitching, reading, and singing. Well done, Lydia. All right, another thing girls like to sew is formals. If you work with girls who want to sew formals, you will have glitter in your house. They love sewing them for winter ball, proms, and more. Today we have one young lady who has made a formal, and we'll bring her on stage. So Mika Hang is a 12-year-old from Auburn 4-H Club in Tacoma, and last September was only her 2nd time doing fashion review. She decided to make a royal blue floor-length evening gown with a high collar. Today she paired her dress with gold sandals, gold necklace, gold earrings, and even went above and beyond by getting royal blue rubber bands on her bracelet. When Samika had to choose a pattern, it was a grueling decision process because there were countless options of superb patterns. In the end, Samika ended up deciding on the supposedly easy bow pattern. But let me tell you, this dress was not as easy as expected. Some of the challenges she had to face were sewing the lining for the dress, sewing the collar, hand sewing, dealing with slippery fabric, and hemming the lining and the dress separately. Samika also had to learn how to sew curved seams, how to do a slip stitch, how to sew a zipper, and sew the hooks and eyes neatly on the collar. Samika has worn this dress to a wedding she attended and was extremely excited to show off her handiwork. When she is not sewing, Samika can be found cooking, reading, playing her violin, singing, doing Kama dancing, or doing contortion. But she can't do it in that dress though. Spectacular job, Samika. Another popular category for sewing is costume, whether it's historical, cosplay, or just for fun. And we actually have a kid in each of those categories. So inspired by her love of studying Mandarin Chinese for 5 years in elementary school, 16-year-old Molly Fawcett from Amaka 4-H Club is debuting her first clothing project. First clothing project, you guys, and she shows that fabric. This creation is based off of a hanfu, which is a traditional Chinese garment dated pre-1644. This garment, while having slight variations, was generally unisex. When Molly showed her leader the book her design was in, her leader's the farmer, by the way, her leader nearly had heart failure and told Molly she was on her own for doing the measurement calculations and conversions. They were all in metric. After doing the calculations, Molly then had to learn how to draw the pattern. She also learned how to use a serger while doing her project. It was easier for Molly to choose beautiful lace for the outermost part of the outfit, as it showcased the intentional design of long and oversized flowy sleeves. However, the base layer is a slippery fabric that was challenging to work with. She also learned that the satin blanket binding was not the best choice to use on this project, but if she were to do it again, she would use a narrower bias tape or make her own binding. Molly also made a belt accented with a decorative stitch from her sewing machine to complete her outfit. Despite the various challenges, Molly is proud of herself for accomplishing this project. Great job, Molly. We're pausing between them because these stairs are really good to me. With youth camp and a theme night based on Disney characters looming ever closer, Jennifer Passage dove into her stash of fabric to see what she could find to fit the theme. A while later, she emerged with the perfect piece of red and white polka dot to create a Minnie Mouse outfit. She remembered a Simplicity pattern 8047 shirt pattern, and then dug through her mother's square dance patterns to find a circle skirt pattern. She went to work making her own by adding eyelet trim to the bottom of the shirt and using skirt elastic for an easy fit. Wanting an extra special, Jennifer went to the embroidery machine and found a complimentary embroidery pattern to add just the extra pizzazz she craved for the party. Some heat-set crystals added the final bling to make it shine. 16-year-old Jennifer is a 5-year member of the 12 Bobbins 4-H Club in Kitsap County. When not sewing, she enjoys ice skating, photography, and youth activities at Grace Bible Church. Great job, Jennifer. From the North Tacoma Amocap 4-H Club comes 14-year-old Dinos Cloak. Dino has been sewing for about 4 years and has a strong passion for cosplay and character design, making this hooded, tapering Simplicity cloak a perfect kickstart to their costuming future. The drapey, heavy oatmeal cotton full-length ankle cloak is lined with a brown polyester satin lining. Sewing this cloak gave Dino the opportunity to learn the basics of using a serger, placing French tacks, sewing a shank back button, and modifying a pattern by adding pockets and a lining. They also face many challenges, including fixing the hood seams with a slip stitch and lots of seam ripping due to mislaid pattern pieces. We've all done that. Dino's cloak began as a sketched and calligraphy inked drawing based off of the villain, Emperor Belos, from their favorite cartoon, The Owl House. To finish the costume, Dino designed and made their deer skull mask using wire mesh, paper mache, and resin model teeth. That's wild. Dino enjoys showing off their creative talents through cosplay and at other costume events, and tries to find ways to incorporate pieces into their everyday wardrobe. We look forward to seeing your next cosplay creation, Dino. Are you going to Comic-Con? Okay, she didn't make everyone say go anything. Now, where does it all start? What are some great beginner projects that will teach basic sewing skills and good habits, but are pretty quick to make and something kids will actually like? We have two 4-Hers today showing off their very first and second sewing projects. These kids have been sewing for less than 6 months, so let's welcome, I have one call since, Elise and Uli, all members of the Graham Crackers 4-H Club. Graham Crackers 4-H Club I run, and these are the first project by volunteers and I teach the beginners. A pillowcase using the burrito method and a fully lined tote bag that must have at least one pocket. So first up, we have Elise, who is learning to sew because she wants to make clothes for herself and her dolls. She chose her favorite colors when picking out fabrics for her projects, and she decided to have 4 pockets on her tote bag. Some skills she has learned include French seams on the pillowcase, using the serger to finish off the edges of her patch pockets, and how to make a patch pocket. Elise said the hardest thing so far in sewing is fixing mistakes. Her favorite part is picking out fabric for her next project. Besides sewing, Elise also enjoys outer space, running, soccer, reading, and writing. Great job, Elise. Our other beginner is 14-year-old Uli Goldberg, has an eclectic sense of fashion. She is inspired by everything from The Matrix to Anne of Green Gables when creating her fashion ensembles. She is learning to sew to create the fashion vision she has in her head. Some skills she has learned so far include threading a machine, using a seam ripper, using a rotary cutter, serging, top stitching, and sewing box corners on her tote bag. Her favorite part of sewing is seeing the finished results, and the hardest part is mastering decorative stitching on a vintage machine. Other activities Lily enjoys include crocheting and thrift store shopping. Good job. Girls have shown 2 of the 4 projects the 4-H Club beginners have sewed. They are all currently working on their 3rd projects using decorative stitches on a pillow. The one girl who was supposed to show hers is sick, so I have hers. So Faith, who is missing, has her pillow top completed, and we have Rebecca out here to show what the completed pillow looks like. So this is the 3rd project I teach kids. You can see we have different options. Yellow corner center. On it. Basically, how they start out is we take the decorative stitches on a sewing machine, and we just have fun with stitching on white muslin that has fleece on the back, Allen fleece, and we sew it. And then they pick out the fabrics to match and sew their borders. We also teach them how to learn a zipper on this project, as this project has a lap zipper on the back, so the pillow can come in and out easy. So that's the 3rd thing we learned. We came up with this project because we had a box full of variegated embroidery threads donated to our club, and we didn't know what to do with them. So we designed this project, and it's actually one of the kids' favorite projects to show. They have a lot of fun with it on the machines. On the older machines, sometimes things glitch, which is why Juan says it's hard to sew these stitches, because sometimes they just don't behave. But on the new machines, they're great. So that's the 3rd project we learned. And now we're going to bring Matthew on stage, and he's going to show the 4th project that I teach my kids to sew, which is sewing mat. This is not his mat, by the way, that's not her pillow. There are the samples we have in the room. This project goes underneath the sewing machines to protect your wooden tables from the sewing machine. It has pockets on it to put their stuff. The kids learn how to use bias tape on this project. They learn more about rotary cutting on this project. They learn how to sew through interesting things. This is a rubber tape measure, and you can use a regular needle and go through it just fine. So that's some of the skills they learn. They also learn more about combining different prints together, because I tell them they have to pick 3 different prints on their project. They can't just have it all one color. So that's a couple of things. I'm going to have you guys walk all the way to the end. And if I could have the rest of the kids come back on stage with some other projects that we teach beginners to sew. And I have it all written down, but you know, I can just talk about it. So everybody's going to come on stage and I'm going to show you some other ideas. These are all great projects to teach beginners because they go together fast. So I'm just going to work my way through so you can see what they got. Very easy project, 30-40 baby blanket. Teaching kids to sew for charity is awesome. They love sewing for others too. We have a local nonprofit here in Puyallup called Step by Step that is for at-risk babies and their mothers. And our club will make baby blankets for them. And so this is a project we use. It's a 30-40 blanket. You can find the instructions online. Just type in 30-40 blanket. Comes right up. Very easy to do. Most kids can do this in like 2 hours. Very fun to pick out the prints. Another idea we have, these little boxes. Very similar to the bowl cozies, which are next. But they're just great little boxes to put things in. They can use the buttons to decorate them. This is one of the projects we did when we couldn't meet in person. We had to meet on Zoom. Was that bowl cozies. You can zip those out. They make great Christmas presents. You have for your bowls, and you have for your Ben & Jerry's ice cream container. Yes, these work great. This is my personal one. Anyways, those they can zip out so fast. The only requirement is make sure that you use 100% cotton batting. Just to let you know, warm and natural is not 100% cotton. It's only 80%. So very important on that. You don't want to catch anything on fire in the microwave. But that's a great one. I've had several kids make those as presents. We also did this via Zoom, and they worked out great. More charity sewing. These are kennel quilts for animal shelters. They're 12 by 18 in size. They have warm and natural bang on the inside. It makes the animals more adoptable, and they get to take the blanket with them. But they fit perfectly in the small animal kennels. So it's a great thing to do. Use up the scraps. I have a whole box in the sewing room that's just of scraps. The kids can be creative. In fact, you can't just put around. You can do all different designs. And they get really creative on what they can do with scraps of fabric to make kennel quilts. Another great first project for girls, and I think, where is she? Kiana has a very similar one on, is the basic elastic mixed skirt. This is not a pattern. All this is tube of fabric. Used to be able just to sew up the selvage edges, but they kind of pucker now, so I usually say cut the selvage edges off and sew up. From the top under elastic, hem up, you're done. Most kids can make this in 2 hours. So it's really, really a fun, easy project for the girls. This was a challenge that we did during Zoom, which was the Easter mud rug and the Easter egg placemat. I sent the pattern to the kids for just the shape of the egg. And I said, have fun.
That's not easy.
And so that got them really thinking of how to use different fabrics, how to use different trims, and then they learned how to sew by tape-on with that. Great fun. Placemats are a great fun project for kids to sew. And so are mud rugs, which we have more coming. Cup cozies. Everybody's sewing cup cozies. They can go together so fast. This one actually teaches hand sewing because I made them hand sew the two ends together instead of using the button and hair tie that some use. That's a great present idea for them to sew simple presents for their family. And then now we've got more mug rugs. This was another fun thing to do. They're great presents. They're great for their own hot cocoa to sit on a coaster that's fun and theirs. And now we're back to, we already saw the tote bags, which are awesome, and the pillowcases. So those are some different ideas for teaching beginners how to sew. As far as that goes. So that is pretty much my show. I know it's small this year because I had less kids. Do you have any questions of the kids or of me teaching sewing, of ideas, suggestions, comments?
Nice job.
Yeah.